What's up, world? Welcome back to another episode of the Other Guys Podcast Reacts. So you guys know what this is about. The slap that can be heard around the world. We're talking about the Oscars. It is the Oscars, right? I don't
Yeah.
watch none of
Yes.
this shit. Okay,
Yeah.
the Oscar slap from Will Smith to Chris Rock. So let's roll the footage, and then after that, I want to hear y'all's
Yeah, we
opinion.
got to see it fresh.
All right. We
Yeah,
got to
yeah,
see
yeah.
this. Let's get this full
And I
screen.
think this is all the context too.
You know who's got the hardest job tonight? Javier Bardem and his wife are both nominated. Now, if she loses, he can't win.
In the games right now.
He is praying that Will Smith wins. Like, please, Lord. Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right? That was a nice one. Okay.
It's a light one.
I'm
It's a
out
light
here. Richard. Oh, wow. Wow.
Bro.
Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Hey, bro, you might be toxic. You might be toxic.
Yeah, I
Out
think
your fucking mouth.
Wow, dude.
Yeah.
It was a
follow-up.
G.I. Jane jump.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
I'm
I think
going
people still thought it was
okay?
a skit at that point.
I don't think they knew what to think.
Okay.
Yeah, but once he started just like cursing on
That
loud,
was
it was
a-
like, oh,
Greatest
Oh,
night in the history of television. Okay.
we just seen the thing.
Okay.
So, all right, let's put this back on the screen because I want to. If y'all don't mind, I like to start off with some questions.
Okay.
First off, do you think it was real or do you think it was fake?
Granted, it was a room full of actors, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think it was real. I think we seen a hurt man
Okay.
releasing this hurt through his fingertips across that man's face.
It's shot. Real or fake? Are you on mute? I think you're on mute. You're on mute.
There you go. Yeah. I think that I think it was. I'm gonna go with it's probably fake.
Okay. I think it's fake as well, right? And I'm gonna say it because like one, you make a joke about a man's wife and you kind of like you get what may or may not be coming, right? You know that it's edgy. Secondly, a guy is walking up to you, as big as stature as Will Smith is, you don't keep your hands behind your back, right? And if you look at it, like I've seen pictures, like he braced himself for it, right? That and on top of the fact that they're actors. So for that reason, I think it's fake. Either way, though, I do believe, like if it's real, I think this is bad on Will. If it's fake, I think it's pathetic, and I think it's still bad on Will because he looks like imagine, bro, imagine you're in high school and you're dating, a young lady, and she's known to be passed around the school,
Mhm.
right? And then you find out, and then someone makes a video, and then they point making fun of her, like you'd be a fool to try to stand up and protect her honor. Like you just look like a guy
Right.
who is in a bad situation because you're messing with someone or you're linked to someone you probably shouldn't have been linked to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I feel you on that. But I do like seeing consequences to things, right? I like it. I like to see that every now and then. It shouldn't happen every time, right? Every time somebody says a joke about somebody, they shouldn't get, slapped across the face or whatever, right?
Yeah, you toxic. You
It
toxic.
reminds me of you ever seen like somebody like crack too many jokes on the quiet kid at school and he like snaps, right?
Yeah.
And what happens is everybody in that room just learned a lesson. Like, you know what? You can't push people too far.
Mm-hmm.
You might something
So
bad.
so then let's talk about pushing someone too far, bro. The Smiths have been the laughing stock for like the past year and a half, 2 years. So it's
Yeah.
like, why take it out on a guy who's hosting the Oscars?
Man, look, when I would have known on that stage of all the people to pick in the crowd, I'm not saying nothing to Will. He's been through enough. Because you got to know he's ready to snap. You got to know he's tired. You got to know, like, he is not the one. And you've been joking about his wife for a couple years now. Just leave that man alone. I'm not saying Will was wrong. Will was wrong. It was a bad decision on his part. But also, if see, I think ignorance has its place in society, right? So let's just say you're at the grocery store and you see a guy come down the aisle and he's got like a KKK hood on, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're a well established man. You don't got time to delve into that foolishness. You know what I'm saying? You can ignore him. You can go on about your life, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I would love it if somebody who's ignorant, who doesn't care about what's going on in the future, who's ready to throw it all away,
Someone who has nothing to lose.
nothing to lose, would just come across and just stomp his ass out in the middle of the grocery store and go to jail, right? It'd be great. And I appreciate them making that sacrifice. So I appreciate Will Smith making that sacrifice. Leave him alone.
You like that he stepped in to play the ignorant nigga role.
He had to play the ignorant nigga, and I hate it for him. You know, he should suffer any consequences that comes with being the ignorant nigga of the moment. But I don't think it's justified in doing it. I think it was a bad move. But I like to
But
just
he does have things to lose, though, which is the crazy part.
Yeah, but he's hurt, man. The dude is hurt. The dude's been through a lot. Obviously, he's emotionally unstable right now. He's not making great decisions. He's just a regular dude. You know what I'm saying? He can fold under pressure. I have punched somebody before. It wasn't the ideal solution to the situation. But you know what? Sometimes you cave. Will, he just happened to cave live on stage at the Oscars. So I'm glad he let us see it.
So let me back it up a little bit. Let me back it up a little bit, because I'm not gonna lie. When this first happened, I think I saw it last night, and I've never watched any of these award shows. My very first thought was like, I'm torn. I don't know if this is honorable or if this is just some nigga shit.
Not honorable.
You don't think so?
I'm not gonna delve on honorable. I mean,
first off, you can't protect somebody's honor when they don't have any.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so she don't have none. You can't. That's ridiculous. No, not saying like to you, but yeah, she doesn't have any. And let's say if it's real.
Mm-hmm.
If it's real, we got a man trying to reclaim some masculinity on somebody else's face.
Yes.
Like
and I think
in
that's
the words,
the most pathetic part about it. Like, this is so obvious that he's trying to like rebrand himself to the world as I'm not this soft ass guy that y'all keep trying to.
If
this ain't Will Smith's first slap though, he done slapped somebody before on the red carpet.
That slap, I'm pretty sure 99% of people would say was warranted. Like that was technically sexual assault.
Yeah,
what the guy tried to do to him. So that don't count. But in reality, he's mad because his wife has been making his entire family look like a damn fool.
Yeah.
And so this was him trying to say, hey, look, I do punch back. I won't just be made fun of. But it's like, bro, you just look like a hurt guy, a hurt son. That's what you look like.
Yeah. And he is a hurt man. That you were witnessing a hurt man, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I disagree about the no honor thing, because here's the thing: if I'm with somebody, I don't even care if it's just a girl I just slept with last night or whatever, right? You can't disrespect anybody I'm with, right? If you're in my company, you're safe, you're good. If you're out my friend, if you roll with me to a thing, right? I consider you somebody that you know is good under my care, right? So I do feel him on that. But I mean, obviously, you know, you probably shouldn't go to that extent of walking up on the stage and smacking somebody right then and there.
I can see that, right? This is someone who's associated with me.
By disrespecting
them, you're disrespecting me. So I get that, and I'm going to step into their defense. Mm-hmm. I get that part, right? But like at this point, we're saying this is okay. At this point, well, I'm not going to say that, but. Mm-hmm. I guess what I'm saying is like we live in a country where it is it's illegal, but it's acceptable for black men to demonstrate violence against other black men, right? And so that's what they perpetuated right here. Right?
Exactly, yeah. If that was Tom Hanks or Tom Cruise, then it would be a different story right off the bat. If it was a woman, it would be a different story right off the bat. So when I hear this, when I'm listening to this kind of stuff, and there's so many people on Twitter, that's him protecting his woman, blah blah blah. I'm like, you know what? Who sets the rules for what's okay? Because would it have been okay if that was Justin Bieber when he was 16 and he was up there and he slapped the hell out of a 16-year-old? No, that's too young. What if it was Tom Hanks? No. He's too old. Well, then what about that chick? She makes jokes about people. Then he can't slap a woman. I thought we were equal. We are. who sets the rules? Or it seems
Mhm.
it's just it was right because that was a black man, and you can hit on black men. They're beneath everybody. They're not even human, so don't even worry about that because you couldn't slap a white man, a white woman, a black woman, an Asian man, an Asian woman, underage, elder. That he did the perfect thing, a nigger. You can hit them. It's cool. They don't matter. And so that's the
Hey, you might got a point. Yeah, you can't
so
smack
He's
me.
got a point because think about it. The Rick Ross thing, right? Where he talked about dropping Molly and a girl or whatever. Like that was too far. Like all of them. But how many years has this guy been rapping about shooting niggas?
It is okay to
That's
shoot me.
so
okay to do.
like I
Niggas is
say,
okay.
subhuman, third, fourth, fifth, because you got a certain class of people. Not gonna say, then you got dogs, then you got another class of people, then you got one more, then you got black men, bottom of the barrel, and so like I say, it's so at the minimum because he was laughing too. He was responding, and the at best, if it's real, he was responding off of the emotions of the woman who is treating him like crap to try to regain some masculinity. It didn't even upset him.
No, I think
Her
it upset him.
reaction
I think
upset
he was
him.
laughing it off. I think he
What?
was. I think he's in a very sensitive state.
So did y'all hear the joke
Yeah,
that he made?
it's about G.I. Jones because her hair is cut short. Yeah.
Yeah. So he didn't even broach the August Alsina thing. Like he just made a regular like she ain't got no hair joke.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like Keisha saying, at best, and we saw him smile, we saw her frown. At best,
Yeah.
being emotional
Yeah.
and popping off on a guy who told a joke
Yeah. I mean,
Think
you know the story
think
behind the bald head, though, right?
that she has some kind of medical condition.
Yeah.
she says she has alopecia. And I guess it would have to be I was watching the guy. It's a Gundam. Really good channel. Really funny guy. And he was pointing out he's like, yeah, people with alopecia have like complete bald spots, right?
Mhm.
But hers is like, I guess it would have to be a mild case. I don't know
I don't even
100%.
care. I don't
But
think it's
she said,
relevant.
Yeah.
but it's alopecia that she's supposed to be dealing with, and now it's the end of the world, because she has
No.
alopecia, and you got to be sensitive to everybody at every
Don't
time.
get lying.
Pe-
A joke is a
people
joke.
people make fun. I laugh at jokes.
But I would never. Now look, Will is wrong, though. Don't get me wrong. Will is wrong. His actions is weak. He's broken. That's why he's acting like that. But as a black man, you don't be. Why would you insult that man's wife? Why would you joke
Bro,
with that
he's a
man?
comedian.
Yeah, that's That's
That's his
literally.
job.
You don't play with no other black man. He knew
But,
that.
but here's the thing. So are you saying when jokes about women who are married are off the table? Period. Is that the precedent you want to set?
Yeah, you don't see it, man. It's from one black dude to another. You knew that was a sensitive topic. You knew it. You seen how she didn't laugh at it. Obviously, it was gonna hurt her feeling. You don't play
So
about
then
the black
let
man.
me be cliche and say, was it what was
You say
her
you see point.
was she not a sensitive topic when August Alsina was in there? Was that not sensitive?
Yeah, but it's coming from her. What are you gonna do? Punch her in the face? You know what I'm saying? Punch
No, I'm
August
talking about
Well,
when
how about the
when he
dude?
made
How
the
about the dude
song
that's
about being in
if he
bed
would
with her.
if he was that dude, like
Right.
my brother
All
said, if he
that's
was that
great.
dude, if he wanted to hulk up on somebody, why don't you hulk up on a dude that's banging your wife that you're so upset about?
Not the guy who made a joke about alopecia.
Right. All
And
I'm saying is
he
put
didn't make a
yourself in
joke
that.
about alopecia, just her appearance. I don't even know if the
Look,
man even knows or not. There's not a guarantee that he knows.
look.
A lot of women are cutting their hair short today as a form
All
of
I'm,
empowerment. And
all
so
I'm saying is
who says that the man even
Yeah.
knows in the first place?
you
All
see.
Will
Yeah, he
Smith
probably
knew.
didn't. I'm sure he didn't.
Go
But
ahead,
you
Smoke.
see a man that just got. You see a man that got cheated on by his wife. You think that's the man you want to crack jokes? That man is about to snap at any given moment. You know what I'm saying? It's like, why keep
So
that person? Like,
I see
obviously
what
he's
you're
Yeah,
saying.
you want to know? You want to know why? You want to know why? Because it's called entertainment. He knew that
snap.
Will Smith won. He knew that because Will Smith did win the event. So Will Smith won the event, and he won one, so he's going to be coming up there. So he's probably getting ready to introduce him. So he got to talk about them. He's doing things off
Yeah.
the cuff. So it's not scripted. He's ad libbing. He's hosting the show. You're going along with what you have. Either way it goes. Like at best, You got a man trying to reclaim masculinity and get respect from a woman who doesn't respect him by doing things
Mm,
that degrades his image, which is the
mm.
opposite of what you should do. So
Yeah,
at best, he's doing the absolute worst thing that
yeah.
if we period, because that's not going to gain him respect. She doesn't
Oh yeah, it
respect
wasn't a
him, so
bad
she's going to
decision.
go
Hey,
and read some
you
more
let me
poems.
help you out. Right click and then click loop. Right
Oh,
click the
okay.
video. There you go. All right.
Excellent.
There you go.
So
I'm
yeah,
back.
so it's but yeah, so at best he just lost. He's losing even more respect
I
and
agree.
just being a dog. Just think about this. Now, if he wasn't Will Smith, let's say he was a dude in the restaurant, and somebody said something about his girl, and he didn't really bother him, but he looked at his girl, and his girl let him know, I'm not happy with this, and then so he get up and he gonna handle it. Well, now that man's gonna go in with assault. He gonna lose his job, and while he's sitting in jail, is she gonna be there waiting for him? This is not a good move on any level for any man. This was not like an honor thing. This was not like, oh yeah, your wife was effing old boy. That's a problem. That's a real problem. But this man he's a comedian on a stage, professional event, doing what he's supposed to do, roasting people. That's what they do here. They roast people. And for him to get up and smack her, that's the opposite. If I was giving a man advice, oh, you want to get respect from your wife? Okay, then just pop off on anybody who says anything and make sure you're groveling to her in the interim. Just if something's cool with you, don't worry about that. Just check your wife. Make sure you respond to every emotional flair that she has, and that's going to get her respect. Absolutely not. That's the exact opposite. This is despicable behavior if it's real. If it's not real, that's worse. If it's not real, then what they're wanting to perpetuate is the same image. And I would say, they have a lot of work to do because black men in general right now are working to reclaim their image and the narrative. Like Kevin Samuels, a lot of people in the manosphere, black men in general are making a huge shift and switching to become more in line with most peoples in the world, where they're like, you know what, as a group of people, as men, we're going to take charge of our community and the narrative again. If it's fake, this is the kind of crap that they do to keep us exactly where we've been at. We were talking about music before the podcast started, and we are talking about how bad it is. It's not bad on accident. I can jump online and spend about an hour and a half and find an amazing independent artist that has no following, who is just amazing, who is the next Kanye West or Lil Wayne when he was younger, the next Chameleon, or somebody just absolutely killing it. They're not looking for talent. They're looking to put out a specific image to make sure a specific group of people stay exactly where they are, right? And this is the nonsense. If it's fake, it's worse because they want to perpetuate this very emotional male, very basically the how black men have been presented, very feminine, very emotional, and then portray that as masculinity. Think about it. You got a young man
I agree.
who's
Yeah,
14,
yeah,
15,
that's
16, 17,
yeah.
18, and he popping off at every single person. Oh, you talking about my girl? Oh, you talking about my mom's? Oh, you talking about this? Absolutely no
You would
control.
call that
That's
young
a
man a
man.
menace. You would call him a menace to society.
That's right. An emotional man. Nothing more dangerous. And what they're doing on this show, knowing it's going to get all this publicity. And guess what? Go look at Twitter right now and see what black women are saying. Yas, queen.
You know what? That's what I wanted to get into
Mhm.
next. And Smo, did you want a rebuttal before I got onto the next part? Because I know
Um,
I said
I
a lot.
would, yeah, yeah. I mean, because I'm also disappointed in Chris. I mean, obviously, I'm disappointed in Will. It's not the way to react. He's not going to have any positive consequence to the scenario. But because there's a lot of Will Smiths out there, right? There's a lot of guys that are broken, despicable, and it's just like you got to be aware of that, right? Because I promise, if I was on that stage, I would have been aware that of all the people I can crack jokes on tonight, it only be Will Smith. He's been a joke online for the past 2 years. He's obviously emotionally hurt. He's crying a lot. You know what I'm saying? This nigga is not. If anything, right now, I need to say a positive message to this nigga because if anybody gonna disrespect him tonight, I'm gonna let it be Tom Hanks. It ain't gonna be me. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And so it's like I can see that broken on another person, and I don't want to help you snap. I don't want to further put you in that position where you have to decide, am I going to defend myself or am I going to let people keep stepping on me, right? Because eventually somebody is going to get stepped on, and yeah, it probably will be the smallest nigga in the room, right? He going to pick whoever to snap on that day. And I don't want to see nobody snap. I don't
Can I
want to see
say, if
nobody.
Will Smith wants to come and whoop my ass, I wouldn't swing. I would just get the check.
Yeah, yeah,
Let me just
right,
let me get the check. So
right.
I'm just like, you know what? You know what? Hey, Will, bruh, Jada, bruh, get my
This
ass
man's
kicked.
a businessman for real.
Yeah,
Right,
oh,
right,
bro.
right.
Oh
But I don't
yeah.
want to see. I don't like seeing Will Smith like this. Right? I like seeing him as like the cool guy, the Fresh Prince. I like seeing him like confident, smooth, in control. And so seeing him in this state is sad, right? And I don't want to
It
see him like
is.
that.
It
So
is
I'm
sad.
gonna
I
say
think that's the
something.
perfect word.
I'm gonna say something really unpopular. I wish everybody would call him out. I think, like, you guys know, I can't say that because it's personal business of the people who work for me, around me, and stuff like that. But I'm seeing a lot of this. I'm seeing more of this than anything else. This is my daily. This
Emotional,
guy. This is
emotional
my.
black men.
Huh?
Emotional black men.
Yes, that are holding themselves back, and this is it.
But
It is rough, and I
that's
see
a
it
dime
all
a
the
dozen.
time.
That's a dime a dozen. I grew up around so many of them.
yeah,
It's not even funny.
But and stuff like that, it should be called out. He shouldn't. He
Okay.
should get no sympathy. What are you doing? You a man. You don't just walk up and smack another man because they said something. If you want to do something, make a statement. You Will Smith. Get up and walk out of the Oscars. Done. You maintain control. You do not get up and pop off. It doesn't matter. I can have somebody quit when I need them to be there. Am I gonna pop off? They won't even know I'm upset. People that work for me have no idea if I'm. They just. It's a mystery because they have no idea. I'm just calculating. I'm not going, oh man, I'm upset. I can't believe you did that to me. What?
So he showed a lapse. Like he showed that he's not stoic, essentially.
Yeah, and he
at
showed
least
that
in that
he's
situation, right? Obviously, he's lost it, right? I'm sure he's been faced with time and time again. I'm sure a million times he's held his
You're
composure.
saying this is the one time that we're seeing versus the other times when he didn't react to anything anyone online said.
Right, 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 right. I'm sure. I'm sure. There's been so many times recently where he's wanted to react, right? Because I've seen like memes and I've seen obviously the comments people say, right? It's pretty harsh words, right? People are coming at you. You can't do anything anymore. You can't make a post. You can't say, hey, I'm having a good time with my dog today. People going to go off on Jada in there. You know what I'm saying? So it's a
Yeah.
very
You know what's interesting is,
just to watch
and
it.
I didn't tell y'all this, I actually bought his book. He has his memoir. It came out November 2021. I bought it maybe 30 days ago, right? And I'm not super far into it, but like, let me just say it this way. He's dealt with shit a lot harder in his childhood and growing up than people saying mean things about him and his family. Like
Right.
this is like I'm talking domestic violence. I'm talking getting the shit beat out of you just because somebody came home drunk and felt like taking their aggression out on them. Right? So
Yeah.
to me, you don't go from that to where the hell he is without learning how to be stoic, without learning how to face pain and not complain about it. So
Yeah.
that even further makes me think that this is not real, right?
Yeah.
But so let me transition now. So my next thought after I came to the conclusion of okay, this is not honorable. This is nigga shit. This is a hurt man who's acting emotionally, acting like a woman. Let's be real. My next question was, what do other people think, and specifically, what do women think? Like, does a woman
they love
want
it.
her man to act like
Yep.
this in
Yep.
response to something, or do
So,
women think like do good women see this as positive and bad women see this as negative, or vice versa? Like, what do women think about this? Like, oh,
you
let me
know,
let me change it. Do modern women see it a certain way versus do traditional women see it a different way?
I think they would. I think as the modern women, if you just go to Twitter, they are like, yes, he deserved that. Oh yeah, Will standing up for black women. He's defending. It was being celebrated, and Twitter wasn't. They saying that somebody got attacked, but luckily it was a black guy because wasn't too old, wasn't too light, wasn't too dark. It was perfect. It's perfect because they're not. They usually they would take it down. Say if somebody got hit, a lady got hit on stage, if that was a female comedian and she got smacked across the face, of course you would say, oh yeah, she deserved it. She need to get smacked.
They would
Maybe
have
like
rushed
we
the
don't
stage.
tolerate violence against women. And they would block it, but they haven't, and they are going crazy on there right now. They love it because it's broken emotional men are the ones that are easy to control. And this is what they would love the black men in general to be. But I was making the same. Black men in general are switching over from one political party to another. They're seeing things differently from black women. We know in the last 30, 40 years we've been a matriarch. Matriarchy has been it's been a gynocracy. And black men are coming from under that. Like, okay, you know what? We need to stand up. We need to take some direction. We need to ABC XYZ. I don't really think people get an idea of how much narration control that goes on in the media. Like, for example, there are top TikTokers, right? They're really popular. Biden held a meeting with the top TikTokers to talk with them about Ukraine and how they talk about it. Influencers, social media influencers. People don't understand that every single time you see that every single time the U.S. military is featured in a major release, the Pentagon has to actually okay the script and it actually changes it. The Pentagon will change it. People have no idea how scripted and controlled and contrived television and the media are. I have absolutely no idea. So I would lean towards this is absolutely fake. I mean, even him just walking back just then, the smirk on his face like he did something.
I've
If you
never
was
had a
mad, you
nigga
would be
punch me.
steaming. You would be
I've
angry.
never had a nigga punch me and I say, wow, he just punched the shit out of me. And then I just go back to, like, come on, bro. What does that happen at? It don't matter how much money I get. That's not going to be my response.
No man hold up. Let's see. Let's take it back. Where is he at? Look at this face when he walks away. This is all I'm telling you. Like no man worth. What is he worth? What is it? I'm gonna look up his net worth right now.
But yeah, so
Just a regular broken man, fam. I believe. I mean, yes, obviously, it's got all the recipes for a fake situation. I don't see the benefit of it. I don't see why you need to
to
fake
get
a slap.
people to view the Oscars, I think
$350 million.
That's
Yeah,
on the down spiral.
no man worth $350 million walks up over $250 million, smacks somebody in the face off the emotion of his lady, by push towards it from somebody else, and walk away like he just won an Oscar.
Come on, bro.
I mean, it just
the benefits of it, Spoon. One, I can only imagine that the Oscars viewership has been going down.
It has been trending down.
And then two, Will's public image has been trending down. Right?
I don't think that's gonna help it though, like at all. Like I don't think anybody on any team on any I don't think any PR would recommend, like, you know what, to get your raise back up with.
Check this out.
Slap niggas.
Check this out, bro. I meant to call you earlier today. Right? I've been kind of calling you for the past week. I guess you've been busy. Check this out. Seemingly unrelated topic. I was listening to a podcast today, but it does relate to this, right? So there is a podcast I've been listening to recently, hosted by Baron Davis, right? Who is a retired NBA player, and he's interviewing this guy named Gilbert Arenas, who's also a retired NBA player, right? Gilbert Arenas basically went into a market that has never been good. He was playing for the Washington Wizards and made them star status. Like people gave a fuck. People would buy his jerseys and show up and things like that. So he really turned the market around, right? And one of the things they talked to him about, they brought in a PR person and they were like, hey, we want to help you keep doing what you're doing. We want to help you sell more merch. We want to help, because if you do better, the entire city of Washington does better, right? And he was like, I forget what the question was, but he started going into detail on what changes they told him to make, right? So the NBA didn't have a dress code at one point. So you could kind of wear really, really long shorts, really, really short shorts. You could wear a shirt under your jersey. You could decide not to, whatever. They created a strict dress code. They said, hey, stop sagging in your shorts. You look unkempt, right? You're appealing to a younger, hip-hop-ish culture. but that's not who we want to appeal to, right? They were like, tuck your shirt in the front and the back, tuck it in the back so that your butt shows you have a nice butt, right? Women would like to see that. Also, stop wiping your face with your jersey because you look dirty when you do that. Instead, have a shirt on, wipe it, whatever, and like lift up and show your abs, right? And he was like, basically, their word verbatim, they were like, look, when it comes to public image, right? You want to win women, gays, then men, right? I don't know what the logic behind it was. I assume it's just because
women spend more money than men. Women spend over 70%.
And he was like, you're going to get the men no matter what because you're putting up 45 points a game. So men are going to rock with you no matter what. But you need to win women, gays, then men, right? And so this is a move, as Isha just said, that wins women over.
Yeah.
Even though we haven't seen him we haven't seen any consequences come yet. He's kind of got like the halo.
The Oscars said they might look at.
I get that.
This nigga still won the award. That's how I know it's fake.
I choose to skip the. I when it comes to like theories, right? Ones that give people too much credit or overcomplicate it, I try to ignore those because one, I gotta, it's impossible to prove, right? Once I deem it impossible to get down to the bottom of it for myself, I just gotta dismiss it. I'm just gonna sum it up. I find it easier in my brain to just sum it up, but that's just a hurt dude. That's just a dude that's hurt and ain't oh my bad. That's just a guy that is responding emotionally to a problem. But I do think that's a realistic scenario, though. I can see like a PR team. It's just so complicated, and I just think that's just a dude that's been getting ragged on, because I know how we all said we know men that emotional, right? We know men that break like that, so I find that just a more realistic. So
scenario. let me ask it, and let me ask this question: then, do you think, because Will Smith has to be like the top 100 richest black people in America or in the world, right? Like he's up there. Do you really expect? Do you think it's realistic that a man in that caliber, right? Who, and let's be real, Will Smith is also the guy where, like, when he was coming up, like, he was said he was too white or he was too friendly. Like, that was literally, like, Get Jiggy With It is, like, the song that, you know what I'm saying? So, like, he was a happy-go-lucky, you know what I'm saying, rapper and everything like that. So, do you really think that a guy in his position, who's made all these great career moves, right, really is the type of guy to lose it in front of thousands of people and do something like this on a whim?
I think celebrities and are generally more emotionally unstable people, right? Especially long term. So the people who've been celebrity for a long time, you've been living in a different state than most people have, right? You've been the subject of conversation for a lot longer than a lot of us have. When it rains, it pours on you. You know what I'm saying? When your wife
is on you, something before this, like the baby every 6 months is into something else.
Well, the baby's got a different mentality. I think he takes longer. He's a little easier to break, right? Will, it took his wife cheating on him, right? And even though this is probably something he's dealt with privately for a little while, now it's like, hey, it's a big difference between the regular guy, average Joe wife cheating on him, right? And then you Will Smith, and hey, the world is telling you about how your wife cheated. You're making fresh memes every day. We got a long, like, nigga, you can't even read all the comments. There's so much to talk about. You will never even catch up. There are more comments you can read in your lifetime, right? And maybe they just made him weak. Maybe just broke him. Because obviously you said he's been through rougher things. He's been through tougher situations. But this is like one of the first times you ever seen him weak. And I imagine getting seen weak for the first time. And you feel like maybe now he's in that mind state of like, every time somebody says something to me, it's to make me look weak. Nobody is my friend right now. Everybody is trying to hurt me.
Yeah,
everybody is,
and I can see that. But
trying to get a freebie off Will. Everybody wants to get a free laugh off Will Smith.
He didn't even say anything about Will, though. It was and he didn't say anything about August Alsina. It was a short hair joke.
It's like and I feel like she's his Achilles heel, right? Because he's always been cool. Nobody's ever been able to diss Will directly, but they can diss him through Jada, and Jada's like his weakness. And it's like, if I point out how flawed Jada Smith is, like how she's doing you, I make you look like
exactly what you are.
I'm showing how weak you are because how Jada treats you, right? I've never seen anybody overpower you, treat you wrong, accept her, and maybe he's even just taking out his anger on her. Maybe he really wants to punch Jada in the face, but he's gonna punch other people in the face, right? And so again, the worst idea ever. But I'm not gonna say I'm not condoning it, but I understand, right? Because even though I feel like, yeah, I'm emotionally stable, right? I don't go around, yelling at people. I haven't yelled or argued with anybody in a long time, right? But I do feel like there is a uh, when it comes to, like, what I'm saying, disrespecting me and the things I won't tolerate, there's not really a safe place to do those, right? I don't care if I'm in the middle of the Oval Office and what I'm saying, if you cross certain lines, I just, I don't know. I'm just gonna react how I react. Maybe that's like a character flaw or something, right? But
I think we all have limits. I think we all have limits, and everything has a place and a time, right? You
yeah.
can only push somebody so far. Like the example of picking on the quiet kid, the weird kid in class, and everything like that. But it's just with him though. It's like we've not seen anything in his history that would make us believe that this is a violent guy who kind of pops off, right? Like
I
if
think
anybody could get away with doing something like this and get no repercussions, it's this nigga, right? Because he has
Look,
such a clean slate.
like like I said, once again, we did a street interview, and we talked about, Kevin Samuels had his "Who's More Toxic," but I talked before that. We did the street interviews, and that the one Caucasian guy I was talking to, and I mentioned to him, women hit men more. The one way violence, domestic violence, comes from women. Whoa, men and women cheat at near identical rates. Whoa, women sleep around more than men. The actual reality of the world, women feel that they are actually oppressed. And the thing that blows my mind more than anything, like, okay, so in another example, black women run around and they scream about being independent, and that's how you take care of yourself. And at the same time, these are the same people that scream about generational wealth. But if you look at the most married group, the women who are most dependent on their men in this country, Asian women, they make more money. They make more money than black women, and they're more protected, and they have more family. They don't have to choose one or the other, but black women think that they do. Another thing is Caucasian women that talk about being victims. But if you go to anyone and say, "Hey, I'm a black man," and you're a Caucasian woman, who do you think has had it worse in this country and up until today? Well, they'll say, "Well, you do." White women make more money on average than black men, but white women will still run around and screaming that men make more money than they do. They don't let that caveat be known, and we're still included in the patriarchy. Bottom line is, the world that view that people have is absolutely incorrect. The average American has absolutely no idea what's going on, and it's because of stuff like this. This is what I believe is absolute propaganda nonsense. I wouldn't be surprised if the entire saga, from this guy cheating on her and then dragging him through the mud, it's a reason why the black male image is as it is, because it is very controlled. When you look in the media, I don't allow my children in my household to watch any media directed towards black people. Tyler Perry, the light skinned woman who seems to have it all together, but her husband is secretly a dick, but she holds it all together to the end of the movie. The dark skinned woman who's just an absolute whore. She has no class. Blah blah blah. Everybody knows the same old tropes. They push being black. You have labels. This is all you can be. Or you not black. You talk white. You this, and it's very controlled. Our image is very controlled. Things don't get to slip out. If they do slip out, it gets shut down. If you're not okay with toeing the line, you get shut down. Think Chameleonaire. When Chameleonaire was out in the 2000s, he was like the artist. He had a better deal than Michael Jackson. He was the artist. He didn't want to do what they wanted him to do. So he said, "I'll leave the industry." And he literally just left because he didn't want to do what they wanted him to do. And they said, "Hey, you can't even release this next CD." He was outselling. He was at the top. He didn't want to do what they wanted to do. He'd make it on his cop songs. It was not negative. It wasn't shoot this dude just because he black. It was none of that. It's like, "Oh no, we want you to take a different turn with your music." No, I'm not doing it. Out of the industry. You don't get to do anything that is outside of the scope of who you as a black man can be. There's a range. This crap is just the same. I don't see it as anything different. I don't. If it's a reason why, if you talk to men and women today, they have no idea how the world works, how the male female dynamic works, how money works. This people in this country are absolutely blind. That's why you can get someone from a foreign country that can come over here that hasn't been part of the absolute propaganda. They can come over here and then open up a nail salon in our neighborhood. They can open up a beauty salon in our neighborhood. They can open up gas stations. But we've been here. We should know how the place works. We should know how credit works. We don't because we
I'm
get
gonna tell you.
inundated and we only can be a certain thing. And so I don't believe that this is a crack and the blah 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 whatever. I think it's just all nonsense. And this is exactly who they want black men to be and who we have been, and this is who they want us to continue to be. And I think the screams, the cries, and the displays are going to get louder because things like the Black Manosphere are coming up, and black men are saying, "Hey, I'm done with this. I'm going a different route." I really do. I don't believe any of the nonsense on the Oscars. We had a real moment on the Oscars. Well, I don't buy it. But
I feel you on that.
if it is real, if it is real, then once again I say there's nothing that needs to be said positive about the man. This is the same gangster bull crap dudes running around with their pants down, gang banging, popping off on everybody because they disrespected the color blue or the color red or their neighborhood or they block. These people shouldn't. This behavior shouldn't be. It should be punished. And the only thing I would say is if it was real, Chris Rock should press charges, and so people will see what happens. So people just walk up and smack
I think
somebody
I
because
read
they
that
said
he's
something.
not pressing charges. I
Yeah,
read that
it's
somewhere.
not.
Yeah, he should because that if it was real, which I
Yeah,
don't
I
believe,
would.
that's exactly what should happen. The
It's
man
Hey,
should
I'd
be.
have flopped to the floor like an NBA player. Like
Would you tell me?
sold it.
He feels guilty. That's why he press
Yeah.
charge. Hey, I'm gonna show y'all two interesting statistics real quick though. I just heard on this documentary. It's on my still on my TV that one out of every 50 black families is are millionaires, right? And that black people are second in millionaires, only the white Americans, right? Um, I just thought I thought those numbers were different in my head. So hearing them on this documentary, I'm all,
So
obviously-
1 out of 50 means 2%. So that's not shocking, right? Like a very small percentage. Like,
yeah.
and then I would say though it is shocking that you would say after whites because I would imagine that and when we say Asian, it can mean a lot of different things, but because the Asian community is broad. But
Right.
They're a smaller community though by 15
so what were
to
they
20
going?
million.
Were they going by numbers? Like
Yeah, yeah, in actual
Okay.
like
Okay.
Overall.
value, yeah, numbers, not
20,
Got it,
2050,
got it.
Let me just-
2050 will be left in the dirt.
Mhm.
Our population is staying the same. The Asian population will overtake ours, I believe in the 2050s, and that's when that number will be toast.
world's ending. But
yeah,
I think we've said everything there is to be said about this.
yeah. Any advice, man? Any advice for people, y'all?
I can give some advice. Don't do this. Don't. This is bad. If your woman wants, if something upsets her and she wants you to act, and you do, then you're being led by your woman, and eventually she's gonna get tired of that. She's gonna get tired of it. Women do not like men who cannot lead. They settle for men that cannot lead, and they wait and pray for the day when a man will show up and lead her. And being led by her emotions, that's a big no. Especially when it's going against your own interest. You don't do that. It's your job to be stoic. It's not a lady's job to be stoic. That's you. And so no matter what your lady's emotions do, you make the right moves. That's how you gain the respect of your lady, by not being swayed by your own emotions and not being swayed by hers. Period. If you were swayed by your lady's emotions and you act on those, then she gonna act real quick to get rid of you. Don't do it. You need to be stoic. You need to find out how to keep it even keel through everything. You need to be. That's my advice.
Mine is real simple, man. Stay away from emotional men. Emotional men are bad for society. They're bad. Like I don't know I'm pretty sure most violent crime happens in the heat of the moment, or when it's planned when emotions are high, right? So like I think of, I don't know if y'all have seen Power, the show by 50 Cent, but like I just think of like a Tommy, by far the most dangerous character I've ever seen on any kind of. So just stay away from emotional men. Obviously, don't be an emotional man. And you gotta think about the what Ray Dalio calls second, what is it? Second term consequences. Like I do this, and then immediately these consequences happen, but after that, these consequences come. Right.
Mhm.
So do make good logical decisions long term, and
Always.
don't react emotionally, and stay away from guys who do.
Absolutely.
Point. I feel like if you are if you're Will Smith, if you're in that position, I think you need to realize when you're in that weakened state. And I say that because I don't think that's his like character, right? I don't think he's like a he hasn't displayed in the past to be like an ignorant man who can't control his emotions. So I don't think that he doesn't understand those concepts. But obviously, he's in a state, right? You are feeling weak. You're feeling like everybody's coming for you or whatever. You need to be aware of that. You need to go get that fixed before you go out in public. You know what I'm saying? Before you be at these type of things, because obviously you setting yourself up for failure by doing such. So if you're not on top of your shit, go get on top of your shit. And if you were Chris Brown, 'cause I got advice for guys like Chris Rock too. Uh,
My bad. That's my fault.
yeah,
That's
so
I
me.
was
yeah,
like, hey, they gonna bring Chris Brown in this?
if you were in the position of
Chris
Chris Rock,
Brown doesn't hit people.
particularly with men, and Chris Brown, yes, you got some advice for him too. But if you are in the position of Chris Rock, right, particularly black man to black man, I think you got to realize when somebody's not there or when somebody's not ready to be involved, right? And just give them some room. I think a weak man is like a starving wolf, right? And a starving dog, right? Like a stray on the street, right? And you just don't need to go up and try to pet him. You don't need to be friendly with him. You don't need to engage with him. Let him be. I wouldn't have mentioned Will Smith's name all night because he's not in that state to talk to me right now. He's been getting dragged on the internet. I don't know what's going on. He acting up. He crying a lot. I'm leaving him alone. I ain't talking to no man that's crying.
He
So
had to know somebody was gonna make a joke about him in a room full of thousands of people after
right.
it transpired.
Right, but would you be that person though? And so like I don't want to be that person that makes a joke about the guy that's down and obviously emotionally unstable. I mean, sure, Will Smith could know, but you could also know that if you go around picking on weak people, they might
Yeah,
spaz out on you. And so
yeah, yeah.
it's why I don't flip people off in traffic. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody's probably having that day. Somebody may have got cheated on by their wife yesterday. Even though he shoot me, he's wrong, but still I'm shot. And
I
so
did bring it upon myself to
I
some
did bring it
extent.
upon myself by just poking people
Did
and
that come from
everybody.
experience? Did you flip somebody off and then something crazy happened and you was like, I
No,
ain't
but
putting
you
that
see it
up on
all the time, right? That's where road rage come from. But I have been in a scenario of when man, I blacked out, punched the guy, right? And not not a great scenario. Uh, but I did have some pinned up anger from earlier in the day.
you.
And I was with a chick that I literally just met her in the bar.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a part of the altercation or whatever. And the dude like yelled in my face. I ain't think about it. I ain't get like emotional. I wasn't yelling, but I just punched him. By the time I realized I punched him, I was like, oh man, I'm in a fight. I'm grown up in a fight. What's going on?
He said, "Oh man, I'm in a fight."
But fortunately, it was over. I'm glad it was over immediately. But that's how that
I'm gonna
happened,
end
right?
up here.
And he had been yelling at dudes all day. He'd been screaming at people at the bar, right? But he just yelled
Yeah.
at me, and I just had a bad day, and so I just instantly reacted.
Mm-hmm.
And hey, that's how it turned out, right? It wasn't a great decision. Could have went bad. Could have got arrested. Could have been all type of things, right? But
Mm-hmm.
so it's just be careful who you fucking with out here, man, because everybody ain't at their best today. So be
Yeah,
careful.
yeah, yeah.
And if you are easily irritable that day, you might need to go take your ass home and sit down.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I got.
Don't slap people. It won't work out for real people in the real world.
No.
And if you were worth a couple $1,000,000 in the real world, you would get sued and they would get money. Don't do it. It's nonsense.
Yeah. All right, that's it. What did we get right? What did we get wrong? If y'all agree with any of us, let us know. If you disagree with any of us, let us know. Until next time, other guys signing off.
You on Zoom?